Call to order. Roll call, please.
Judge Deskins?
Here.
Magistrate Anderson? Here. Magistrate Johnson will be here. Magistrate Murphy?
Here.
Magistrate Robinson? Here. Magistrate Dotson?
Here.
Magistrate Barney?
Here. Leo, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The last words to the pledge was play ball.
All right, the approval of the minutes of October the 20th, 2015, June the 2nd, 2016, and June the 7th, 2016. Need a motion. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy? Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dotson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Public comment. Need to come to order. State your name, address, and concerns. You have 10 minutes. Mike Blackburn, please.
Good morning. I'd like to thank the court for the opportunity to speak. I'm here on behalf of the golf course. We've struggled financially over the past year. We've dealt with floods, other issues, ongoing issues, but we're persevering. We've got a pretty good group of folks that are really interested in the course. And we also have a private businessman who's willing to step back in and help with the course, and that's what we're here to talk to you about this morning. I'll outline it briefly for you, and then I'll let Jim give you some details. We have a plan that would keep the golf course open with minimal input from the county, considerably less than what we've spent in years past. We right now have one county employee dedicated to the course, and we have some aged equipment. Mr. Patton is willing to step back in with the equipment he has and help manage the course. He'll actually manage the day-to-day issues, manage the pro shop, and basically run the golf course. The board will stay in place to report to the fiscal court. And what we're asking from the court, in addition to the employee, is for $25,000 for the upcoming fiscal budget, and that could be paid out in 8 installments. And it would be a tremendous step backward for the county if we lose the course. It would, it's not like we can bring it back up next year. If we shut it down, we lose it, and it would just be, I think it'd be tragic that we lose something that we've got so much invested in, and it would be, again, like I say, it'd be a step backward, I think, for the county. With that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Patton.
Appreciate the opportunity to speak today, and we thank the county for the vision that you had some 20-some years ago. In the original charter of the golf course, it was to provide low-cost golf for the citizens of Eastern Kentucky, and you have done that for over 20 years, probably around 22 years, I think it's been in existence. And as one of those golfers, I thank you, and many people would share those sentiments as well. We came in a few years back with Mr. Sykes, and we developed a 5-year plan. I would like the opportunity to complete that plan. That's a good plan. In 2013, that plan was submitted to the National Association of Counties and won a national award. It's a good plan. It's a plan that combines the good work of the county along with private citizens and private business to accomplish a goal. And again, that goal is to provide low-cost golfing and recreation opportunities to the citizens of Eastern Kentucky. I think you've probably got a copy of it somewhere, but it's an award-winning plan. Under our management before, we also were voted best in the valley. So we've won local and national awards with this golf course and the business model that we've built around it. And I think what we're asking for is very nominal fees or nominal amount of money, which in a budget crunch, there's no such thing. I understand that. But the bang you get for the buck will be tremendous. The cost of not investing in this golf course is unthinkable. It's just so many millions of dollars have gone into that golf course over those 22 years or however many it is. I may be mistaken on that, but it's somewhere around there. It would be a shame to let that go by the wayside. On the other side of the coin, from my perspective, I know you can't get blood out of a turnip. And I know everybody needs funding. I understand that. And there'll be no hard feelings either way. God didn't make me that way. But I'm here willing to help. I'm willing to bring back in my equipment that we placed down there before. It's still in good shape. It's still usable. And we'll do our best to get the golf course back in condition to where we're at least in the running for best in the valley again. But that's going to take some work. And we have to have a positive attitude about it. Sometimes as a pastor, I go along with things because it's best that we don't be negative about it and we be positive about it. And so not evil things, but things that somebody wants to do other than the way I would do it. But I think the measure of character is even when things don't go your way, you're willing to get in there and do your best to make it work and do your best for the common good. So that's what we're asking you to do today. I know there's been times where you said, I'm just so tired of hearing about that golf course. And I understand that. And there's times when the general public, kind of thinks, well, I'm just so tired of hearing them say they're so tired of hearing about the golf course. Why don't we just work together and make it something we can all be proud of? And that's just as simple as I can be. I'm willing to put skin in the game. I already have. That building over there, I'm the one that talked to the representative that started the ball rolling to get the $250,000 of coal severance money to build that building. And I also put money in it myself. Now, you may think I'm crazy for doing that, but the thing about it is, God owns me. He owns everything I own. And I'm not a stingy person. I'm willing to work, and I'm willing to work with you. But we have to do this together.
Jim, how are the greens? I understand they're coming along a little better.
They are, but the plan is, moving forward, we're going to close down the back nine. We're going to completely redo the greens as far as replanting them, aerification, and all that stuff. Close it down. We're going to take and make some false greens and use it for a challenge course so that you can work on your irons, so we can still get golfers out there, but not on the greens.
Right.
It's going to take 2 full seasons to get the greens back to where they were previously when it was an award-winning course, but they are in tough condition. And to do that with this shoestring budget, basically all y'all doing is giving us a shot, because to fix greens, it costs more like in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. But we're going to try to do it the best we can on this budget that Mr. Blackburn has proposed.
Well, one thing I'd like to comment on is, you mentioned the fact about all the money that's been spent on the course. We've got, I think, John and I, we were just talking earlier, I think she mentioned was $250,000 in the new building of down there. So it's a really nice facility, and once you close the golf course, odds are it's not going to reopen. And I know, I used to go over there and play quite a bit myself, haven't played any. I think I played one time earlier this year, but, I don't know about the other members of the court, but I'd like to maybe have a chance to at least look at your all's proposition, see what the court may be able to do in terms of helping you all.
Real quick, I'd like to add, so the court fully understands the proposal. The proposal is, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Patton, Brian Johnson's salary.
Yes,
Is the only county employee that's over there. We need to continue his employment.
yes,
Supplement 25,000 a year.
correct.
And on top of that, we still have the lease payments. I think both lease payments, on the front nine and back nine, both equals to be roughly 33,000 annually.
Correct.
That's what this court will have in this agreement with Mr. Patton.
So we're talking probably 100,000 or better.
100,000, and Master Anderson brought up the building, the facilities, there's pumps, there's a lot of parts that goes into a golf course that I'm fully not aware of either, Mr. Dodson. But I do understand that if the golf course goes away, the court also has got to keep in mind, we'll have to add security to the building, to the facility, until we can renegotiate the leases, which I've been told that probably won't happen. We're into these the lease was signed for 99 years. And I think, well, how long we been in it, John? You probably know better than anybody.
I think the first one's probably 25 or 26 years, because Governor Patton did it before he ran for lieutenant governor in 91, so.
So we got roughly 75 years.
25 or 26 years old, and you got 74, 75 years still left.
So they have to, something has to be determined on if we don't enter this agreement, how we move forward with the land, the building, the leases. I just wanted the court to be aware of all the details.
Well, you need to know something. I'm sorry. I was just going to ask, when do you need to, what kind of deadline are we up against?
Well, what we're asking for is not a lump sum. We'd like that in equal distributions over 8 months, because our season basically is 8 months, and that's when we're out there spending money. So it would be, 1/8 of that amount every month. So some of it, and November, December, January, February is not included in those 8 months. So some of it's going to pick up back next spring in March.
Are y'all getting any play at all now? Y'all getting a little bit? Just
very little.
Very little.
Yeah.
Now, is the equipment you have, as you say, is it ample?
My equipment's it's got 2 seasons on it.
Okay.
So it's in really good shape. The mowers are an issue that we're going to have to deal with.
Okay.
I actually have that in my budget. I've done a budget for 16, 17, and we have to have equipment out there. What we've got it will not last.
Okay.
So we're going to have to solve some of those solutions. I do have a mowing tractor that's mine that I'm going to put back on the course, which will help. But we've got to have a solution for the fairways.
I'll tell you, when that course is in good shape, I would just as soon go over there and play as anywhere. I know we've got the issues with the flooding, and normally we would get through that relatively quickly, but now with the greens messed up, I know that's a whole different ball game, like you pointed out. But an 18-hole golf course is I think it's a tremendous asset, and that's we need to sit down and try to see what we might be able to work out.
And I also have a skid steer and excavator that resided there while I was managing the company or the golf course, because of our issues with the irrigation system being old. 26 years, I didn't realize it was that old. The grayer my hair gets, memory ain't that good. But we have those over there. We make short work of floods with that equipment. I've got a broom that goes on my skid steer. It's a big skid steer.
Right.
And it usually sits over there, so it's on hand whenever we need it. So we have equipment to handle that stuff. What we do need is mowers.
Right.
The mowing machines are just so old. If you went over there and looked at them, you say, does that start? You know, it's.
Yeah, I
it's
know
that
the
old.
ones you're talking about.
You care if I put you on the spot with a question?
Please do.
I know years past that this court has supplemented the golf course up to $280,000. It's, you know, you're asking for roughly 100. I mean, you understand the job you're about to take on? I mean, it's a big difference.
I did it with that pretty much before. One of the things, when I first started managing it, the county was spending $220,000, $219 and change. Miss Jonda was kind enough to send me their spreadsheet and show me what they were spending on employees. And that was with us paying all the leases and all the expenses. The county didn't pay anything. We were able to do that and then put $40,000, $50,000 back into the county's budget. One of the things that I did when we rearranged things, you'll probably recall this was under your administration, that we cut $92,000 out of that budget. I'm the bird that did that. So I'm pretty confident that we've got a shot. We would have to have the grace of God, and the equipment's going to have to last longer, and I think it will, honestly. But yeah, I've got a pretty good idea about what I'm getting into, and it sure ain't easy.
What's the term of the lease that you're proposing?
3 years.
3 years? Mm-hmm. And okay.
I mean, we had talked about 5 years and that was because of the 5-year plan that we had submitted to the court and previous administration. And we went through that 5-year plan, which is the same plan that won that national award. So we plan on picking that back up and moving forward with it. It's a good plan.
Master Anderson asked the question, what's your timetable on having to have an answer returned?
Well, I'd like to start in July.
Well,
I'd like to start right away, and because I need to get some grass seed on those greens, and get them growing. It takes 4 to 6 months to get the greens to grow into where you can play on them, and that would actually put us into the winter. So once I do that, we're not going to be able to play on that back nine the rest of this season. But starting the next season, the back nine should be up and running and ready to play. And then in the springtime, which is another growing season for the type of bent grass that's on those greens, then we'll redo, which they redid and reseeded the front nine, and then I'll overseed it in the winter, and then see what needs to be done in the spring to get it up to good playable speed.
Jim, how long of an agreement would you need? 5 years with a 5-year option, or 3 years with a 3-year option?
Whatever please the court. Either one of those will work. I just need to know that it's going to be in my hands long enough to accomplish giving it that shot, getting it back to where it's playable, and then giving me time to market it. You know, because we've lost our golfers. In my golf store, they come in every other week and say, you know, I'll never go back over there again. You know, we've got to win them back. We've got to show them that we're trying. That's what. If we can't be positive and together on this and work together, this won't work. We've got to be positive. We've got to put our best foot forward and get our business back and get it back in condition.
You know, Jim, I think that you know, golfers like to play different courses, and I think if we get it back, if we're able to where it's like it used to be, you know, I think that is a good possibility that we could probably win them back. You know, personally, I like to go different places when I, you know, used to play a little bit, and it's part of the, you know, what makes it fun to go to different courses. And I really think that if we can get that course back to where it used to be, that we could probably get those golfers back, you know, playing. And it's convenient too. You know, a lot of them that played that are going to different courses are having to drive 30, 45 minutes further.
And pay more.
And I think that, you know, that speaks for itself.
As a golfer myself, and actually a professional, a teaching pro, I've said I'll never be back to this course. I don't know how many times to different courses, but that was usually because I played badly. So it's not a phrase unusual to golfers.
Jim,
Yes,
Mike, I appreciate y'all's concern over the golf course. I know the county's got a lot of obligations that we've got to figure out what we're going to do on it.
Yes, sir.
And I just, it hurts so much to see us have to let our employees go,
Yes,
people that need jobs, people that don't have income. And our clerk is going to have to close her branch offices down because she don't have any money to run. I guess as January 1, she gives the girls notice that our branch offices will be closed, except for 1 day a week. And, we had to take the insurance from the employees, family plan. There's just so many things that we've had to sacrifice for the budget purposes. And I hope that there's some way that you can see to open the course back up. But I just had my feelings on the things that we've had to cut in the budget, and it makes it hard. We had to close our swimming pools down for the kids for the summer, and things like that. It just, where do you draw the line at? And then, the previous people got us into this lease with the landowners, and we've got to figure out what we can do on it. And I think our county attorney's looking at ways to maybe do something on that. But that's my concern, and I just want to let you and Mike know that it's hard for me to make a decision on laying people off and then open a golf course. Thank you.
And I promise you, speaking for myself, there'll be no hard feelings. That's just, I appreciate the difficulty of your all's job. And I told you one other time I was speaking here, you could pay me to do what you all do. That's a tough job. So I appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Jim, a couple of questions on the, right now we're paying, and we're going to have to pay that until we do something with those leases. It's $33,000 roughly, $33,000 a year. And for security down there, do you have any idea what it would take to have security 24/7 down there on that building and the property and the equipment that we do have down there?
I've heard from an expert in the security business, it'd be about $100,000 a year.
What, does that sound about right?
talk
For
on that,
24
Bobby.
hours.
Pass-through cost, you're roughly looking 80, 90, 100 grand, but,
Okay.
yeah.
So if we shut it down, it's going to cost us $100,000 this first year anyhow,
Until we figure out what we do with it long-term.
with the long-term lease.
But I will say this, I don't think you could close the golf course down and not provide security on it.
No, we got too much, yeah.
And the total cost of that building was just shy of $300,000. Well, there were some change orders and there was some private money that went into the building on top of the $250,000. So it was right at $300,000 that was spent to improve an existing building. So you would add whatever value you put to that other building to that, and it doesn't take long for a building like that to dilapidate.
Yeah.
When they're not occupied.
Okay, yeah, that's all I've got. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Is that it?
Thank you, Jim. Hey, Judge. Yeah. Go ahead and break for executive.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate your time and consideration. And we would, Brian, we would like to hear back
Okay, thank you all.
as soon as possible.
Thanks.
Jim, I'll get back with you just as soon as I have an answer.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Make them go into executive session.
All right, this time then I make a motion that we go into executive session
Bobby,
in accordance with KRS 61.810.
excuse me, this is for the sole purpose to discuss pending litigation.
Okay.
We'll have to have another one later. We've got some more members of the public waiting, I know. But we need to do that for that sole purpose, not for personnel or anything else, okay?
Got you. and according with KRS 61.810, paragraph C, proposed or pending litigation. That's my motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy? Yes. Mr. Robinson? Mr. Dodson?
Yes.
Mr. Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. All right, the public comment, Blake Walker?
I'm here about the bridge down at Walker's Branch. Last time I was up here, we were supposed to get a quote on building one. And I was just wondering where that was standing at. And let me add something right real quick. Started keeping record November the 5th, 2015, until yesterday, June the 20th. That's 228 days. The water has been on that bridge 152 days of that 218. And I ain't good at math, but I'm gonna say that's roughly 75 to 80% of the time that you have to drive through water on that bridge. And when the water's up on the bridge, if it rains a half inch, then you're past 40, and you can't get in and out.
Well, Blake, I think the biggest problem we've had is money. They cut the severance tax out, I think, in the middle of 13. That's caused us all kinds of problems. And I'm sorry about that, but we just don't have the money to do it with.
Well, you know, I understand the money's tight, but on the flip side, you know, I can't get into my property. And so where's the happy medium at? I mean,
John Doe?
I know it's a tough situation for me and for you, you know, for the court.
I've been doing a little research, talked to you during the break there, but I talked to one gentleman in the construction business, got excavators, and roughly he gave me a price between $1,500 and $2,000 a pier, not a pier, but the beam to move them. Those beams weigh 30 ton a piece, not counting the metal inside of them. And he gave me a price between $1,500 and $2,000, and that then cost us each day the same $1,500 to $2,000 for an excavator to sit there to load them up. So roughly that's about $24,000 to move those. Well, this one guy, and I got Randy Hayes, supposed to been working on it earlier, but he slipped his mind, busy man, but he's down there now. He called me right then, and he's trying to find the beams. He's going to give me a price also on moving them beams, but I'm going to say it's around $24,000 to move the beams from down at on 22 near the Martin County line that they tuck off a state bridge, I'm assuming.
What kind of beams
Three
are
by
they?
three. There's 7 beams there, which we don't need 7.
Steel
5
beams?
would do us. 5 times 3 is be a 15-foot bridge.
Steel beams?
No, they're not steel beams. They're concrete beams that have been tucked off a previous bridge, is what Walker put me onto down there. But it's expensive dealing with that heavier beam, and you had to sit over there at the where Walker's Bridge is, and set an excavator there. And it'd take 2 excavators to probably lift those deals.
Just so I understand, Jackie Darrell, Mr. Walker's come and said that he's had beams that's been donated that we could use for the bridge. And what you're saying is them beams would cost the county $24,000
roughly
just to move them?
Right.
What would be the cost of the beams if you bought them new, you know?
Well, you'd look at it from the concrete aspect. I got a price from Wright Concrete, and the concrete, not counting the metal inside the concrete, is about $2,200 for a bridge of 12 by 50. And then then plus the beams, the metal beams, you'd probably need 2 metal beams to get you by on that, and probably. But I haven't got the beam price. I supposed to got that back from Huntington Steel. Then I got caught up in the washout over at Barrick and Oprah Fork and Bones Branch, and I didn't get that price back. But it looks like the beams, those beams he found ain't as quite as, it's got some expense to moving those because they're heavy. And they could just move one at a time. And I looked at us moving her trailer, but her trailer's in such bad shape it can't handle it. It's too weak. It would break. Well, we got it closed down anyway. So I've got an engineer going down with me. I was working with one lady there, and she came over there with the State Department. She's quit. But I've got the Hunt boy down here, over here. It's going to go down with me Thursday at about 9:30 to look at it and get some observations from them on that deal.
No, I don't know.
I don't either. I mean, you know, all I know is that we need a bridge. And which Jackie Darrell himself said that that's the worst bridge and road that he's seen anywhere in Pike County.
I could have said that till last week, and that would have been the truth, but I found one in Fedge Creek worse. I'm pretty bold, but I wouldn't ride a Volkswagen across it.
Well, Blake, we've laid off 24 people because of money, and I know your problem, and I don't know how soon we can get it done. I don't.
Well, get a price on it, and then, I mean, I know the state's got a 80-20, is that what it is? 64-80-20. Can you get a price on building a bridge, and then can you submit that to the state and see what you can do there?
That's true. We have got 80-20 deal. We got so much money in there. We've got some allocated already out for a bridge, but I'm finding a lot of bad bridges in this county. A lot of them piers washed out under and different things. It's got to be dealt with.
Jackie, what have you determined with regard to the right-of-way getting to that bridge, assuming one could be built? Can it be done on existing right-of-way, or is it going to require an intimate domain? I can't talk, but condemnation. Is it going to require?
There's no doubt, John, that we'd have to do some condemning, because in order to get work at that bridge, this lady's claiming we got an 8-foot road, but I've never seen nothing to say it's 8 foot. And it's up a little bit, and she got a piece of equipment in there and cut around the side of it and weakened it some. But I haven't seen no paperwork to show that. I can't find nothing since 8-foot road, but it's going to take some room there to get a trailer, tractor trailer through there, or working it in any means wider than 8 foot, which I don't know if 8 foot's a reality call there or not, but that's what she's saying, but I don't know the truth to that. But it'd require more land than that to work on that bridge. We got to have some more property. Need the road to be whatever it is, and in order to get this done, we're going to have to condemn some property, I would think, because you can't work on something for 8 foot, or she's saying, and I think we'd have to go forward and do that in order to accomplish this goal. I tried to talk to her and reason with her, but she's not in the mood to be reasonable.
Hey, Blake, have you talked to your sister? I was going to get ready to ask you that. If you can't get her to help you out any?
I don't talk to her.
You don't talk to her?
No.
It'd make it a much easier process if you would start talking to her.
Hey, I hold no grudges. I've got no problem.
It's just,
She
you know,
got
that,
mad at me, and
the
I'm
county.
not mad at her.
Judge Deskin said it, the county's got financial hardship right now, and the hardship on the land, I mean, both is playing equally parts to this bridge. We're working on our financial problems as you speak. See if you can't work on the land. I don't know if that's even possible, but that would open up a road for us anyways to try to help you in your situation. And I understand where you're coming from, but I also just wanted you to understand, you know, where we are. But Jackie Darrell's going down there Thursday with Summit. Just, I'm sure after you meet with Summit, you'll get up with Mr.
He's going to be there with us.
Then you can inform the court on what Summit said, and we'll go from there. Thank you, Blake. Thank you.
All right. John Thacker?
Good morning. Thank you, Judge, for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'll just take a few minutes. I got some questions for Magistrate Jeff Adams. I just wonder, you'll put some input in down there helping this. I mean, not put it all on Jackie Darrell. And I know we got on Rose Street where I live. Well, I live on Hurricane, the Hidden Valley Subdivision, just all over that, Rose Street. You got some engineer surveyed it out on Rose Street and elevation on it, and they ain't ditched right yet. And over on Tracy Street, all of it's filled up, and we got enough room down there to and have a ditch on both sides and down Clover Street. And I don't see why's reason. I just suggest that why's reason some of the engineer won't come over and do an elevation on it and drive a stake wherever the right of way is. You know, I think you got an obligation for us people down there. You know, I believe I counted there are 7 houses on Tracy Street. I don't believe you'll have no trouble now. None of them over there pulling the ditch, and we do need drains in because some of us got a 4/8 drain in. And you know, Mr. Hunt, I believe he's the one come with you over there.
Yeah, he's here today.
And he recommended you to put 12-inch pipes in all of it over there. And I'm just hoping we'll get it fixed right so we'll have a 20-foot road, you know, where we could ride over.
Right. So,
It's just like one of my neighbors the other day. I went to the sheriff's department and asked them that could they move that camper off of that fire truck, you know. Sheriff told me Scott did it. He said, well, I have to have an order from Fiscal court. Well, that's all right. I said, at least you could get him to go down there and talk to him. And he went down there, but he picked on the door, and he wasn't very pleased. But that's all right. And he told me I should attend my own business, but this is a public road. A 30-foot right of way. And, but you know, I'm not down there down on none of my neighbors. They're all good people. But we need it be fixed. And like on Rose Street, when you come around the corner, and I had close calls, have an accident. Bushes hanging over in the road, trees, and a fence, and the other people on the other side have took it for a yard. And all the thing I'm asking this court to do their job. And if, I think, Jeff, you owe us that over there. And I have helped you in your election. And that, you just ain't spend much money there in that bottom.
well, John, just to go back a little bit, I mean, I don't have a problem addressing the issue. As a matter of fact, I did address the issue. And when I got Jody to go over there and do our plan, I think I even discussed it the last meeting. It was a pretty cheap fix, and it was something that was going to get the water off of you. And he did the elevation, as you said, and I thought we had a plan that we were going to do. The next thing I knew, we had our county equipment, and I didn't. I think Jackie Darrell sent the excavator or whatever it was. I was getting phone calls. The state police showed up. I mean, there was all kinds of things going on. And then my phone started ringing, and I thought, that's I don't think that was in Jody's design. But anyway, Had it been up to me, I would have used the
Well,
plan.
let's get together and work with Jackie
Well,
Durrell.
let me finish my sentence. I just want everybody to know that I'm not ignoring your problem, and when it was brought to my attention, I addressed it. Had it been up to me, I would have went with the fix that would have worked, and it wouldn't have been that costly, and we were even going to get on, I think, use the kettle grate, and we would have gotten, the water. I think it would have solved the problem for everybody. It was just, it was a pretty simple fix. But once, now I don't know, this court can do whatever, or whatever Jackie Durrell wants to do. He's the road commissioner. But had it been left up to me, I would have went for I reckon the most peaceful, the least expensive, and the most efficient fix. That's what I would have done. Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm right and Jackie's wrong, but that's probably the option I would have chosen.
Mr. I'm
Can
sorry.
I comment to this situation?
Go ahead.
We've got two problems down there. One deals with people putting things on county road, which I dealt with Thursday. I went to each house, and most people was there, some were gone, but I'd got a letter typed up by John Doug there, and had my signature on it, and went down and told the people to not have nothing on the county property. And we had a 30-foot right-of-way. And county logical sense to the deal was you go, if it's 30 foot, 15 foot from center of the road this way, 15 that way, and be close, but we're going to get Summit down there, I reckon, and get us some stakes to where it actually truly is. So that's one issue. But the other issue of the drains, it's not a complex issue to put a ditch in. And the ditches have been filled in by the people that bought property adjacent to our road and filled the ditches in the past and created this problem on the first row of houses where he lives on. So digging a ditch, like Einstein to figure that out, we put a ditch through there. And as far as the drains for those people, if you go up in the hollow, it's against the law for us to put a drain in for somebody going to their private driveway. So even though they live in a project down there and got big, nice homes, they're no better than nobody in the head of the hollows. So it's their expense, not the county's expense, which we haven't got no money in District 1's budget to done the drains, but that's not the county's problem to put the drains into their private driveways. That's their responsibility, as I told Mr. Thacker there when he mentioned that to me. And as far as pouring concrete in there, if they want to do that's their job. If it pertains to the road, the drain going under the road, that's our responsibility. But their driveways is their responsibility to fix and maintain. So we can't afford to do that.
I think what the issue is, and I'm just thinking out loud, is we're getting private, and John Duck can correct me if I'm wrong. I think, or it sounds like we're wanting to enforce our right-of-way on this side, but we don't really want to go over and do anything. I mean, if it's our right-of-way, and I think the drain issue, I think they'd even said they'd buy the drains, but we can basically do whatever we want to on our right-of-way, can't we, John?
Yes, and Jackie Darrell is right. When you come off of a county road onto private property, it is the property owner's responsibility by statute to be responsible for that. It's not the county. We don't have to build driveways to private property. Let me just inform the court as to what has recently happened, and what I'm going to read to the court is a notice to property owner that Jackie Darrell distributed to most of the homes there. He has the names and addresses who received one. You'll understand why it was done the way it was done when I read this to you. Pike County is the owner of a 30-foot right-of-way over Tracy Street, Rose Street, and Clover Street, located within Hidden Valley Subdivision. KRS 179-240, states as follows. The owner or occupant of land situated along a public road, and that's a county road, by the way, shall remove from the right-of-way all obstructions, including fences and buildings, which have been placed there either by himself or by his consent. KRS 179.270 provides that if it's, excuse me, if its obstructions are not removed or reset within 30 days after service of notice by the county engineer, we call the county engineer the county road commissioner, by the way, if they're not within 30 days after service of notice by the county engineer personally, now that's by the county engineer, or by mail upon the owner or occupant, the county engineer shall cause the obstructions to be removed or reset to place the road in its original condition. This statute further provides that the expenses incurred shall be charged against the owner or occupant of the property. Pursuant to the aforementioned statutes, you are hereby notified that if you have placed obstructions on county right-of-way, such obstructions must be removed or reset to your property within 30 days from date of receipt of this notice, which Jackie Darrell's got a record of that. Now, I've already received a call from one of the property owners down there about all this, and I assured him that we would know exactly where the right-of-way line is before we do anything. Right. We have to. We certainly don't want to go down there and do something on a piece of property we think is our right-of-way, and it turns out it is not. So that's out of an abundance of precaution that we will do that. And this property owner seemed to be satisfied with that. I think Jackie Darrell, according to the report he gave me when he came back from delivering these notices, was that one property owner has already threatened a lawsuit against the county. Is that correct, Jackie?
True.
And what the basis of that would be, I have no idea, given these statutes and given the fact there's no question. Sometimes we have a question about how much right-of-way we own. You just raised one with regard to Walker Branch. One person's claiming it's 8 feet. We'd have to look into that. But here, there is no question. This subdivision was surveyed. Every lot down there is surveyed. There's a plat which reflects that. It reflects the 30-foot road right-of-way over these streets that I named in the notice. Now, you can say, well, why can't you just take a tape line, go down, find the center of the road, and measure out 15 feet each side? Well, I'll tell you why. That road may not have been put in the exact center of that 30-foot right-of-way. It may have been a foot or two to the left of the center of the 30-foot. So we have to know before we do anything. But the property owners have noticed. I think one of the property owners has voluntarily told Jackie Darrell that there's a cherry tree or something that he acknowledges is on the right-of-way, that he'll move the cherry tree. And so that's what's going on.
And I told the people I'd rather be other places than be down there. It's raining. I'd walk in the rain serving the notices to them. And I went to one gentleman who was at his mobile home lot to find him because he wasn't home and give him a paper. And I still got to get the lady that runs the windmill up there because she's got a fence. It's a wooden fence and a bunch of stuff near the road. So I've tried to get them all, and I told them I'd rather not have been there, but I was ordered by the court to do it, and there's a job I had to do.
Really, I ain't got nothing against none of you this year, but really, what I'm here for is help our neighborhood. But, there are people, I try to get them come to fiscal court with. They said, on account of my religion, and I don't want to make nobody mad. But, that's no excuse when water running down your driveway and your yard. And we have got a problem. The whole subdivision over there need to be drainage. And a ditch full on both sides.
Let me ask you a question, John. Is that issue of the water, it's not bothering you now, is it?
No, it's not, but it's just not running right, Brother Jackie Darrell. And it won't run right till we get them dreams out and get it down where it will run. It's like
are you getting any water on your property now?
Huh?
You're not getting no water on your
property?
property
No, I'm not getting no water on my property. Okay. All the water I'm getting, my neighbor's got a downspout come off in their house and it runs down my driveway. That's all the water I'm getting. But what I'm trying to say, I'm not in here to cause no conviction between this court. But my magistrate over there, he needs to work with Jackie Darrell. And if we don't work together, you don't get nothing done.
Well, John, I don't have a problem.
Well, I mean,
I'm-
you
I'm
ain't
not-
done nothing. I mean, you know, you and Willard come down there in my yard, and you know it's the truth.
Right.
And I'm telling you the truth. And you told me, and Willard told me, that it was the responsible of this road commission. And now, you know,
Well, John,
in the beginning, we should have talked to everybody down there and tried to make agreement with them. And, but,
Well-
you know, it didn't happen, but
well, just to set the
if we
record.
don't work together, we ain't gonna get nothing done, Jeff.
John, I agree with you 100%. And what we told you is the road commissioner has the authority, you know, he has a lot of authority. Or if the court votes to order the road commissioner to do something, he can do that.
Yeah.
You know, I can't order work done, and.
But you can work with him.
But I can work with him, and that's the reason.
Well, I want-
That's the reason when I had the survey done, Jackie got a copy. I mean, I never imagined that it would have ballooned into this, but, you know, we had a plan. It was a workable plan, and.
Well,
and-
let's get it working. You know, I just like last summer, I've been coming over a year. We met back there and talked to Mr. Hayes, sir. He was talking about putting drains in. He said the court had a right to put them in. I mean, you know, that's all the thing I'm asking, you know. But you pull a ditch and a little 4/8 screen there, and they got condo pipes running. It can't run out. It's going to sit there. And I just wanted something better for all of us. You know, there are a lot of people down there who want something done, but they don't want to say anything. They don't want to make nobody mad. But we got 3 fellers down there, and Jackie Darrell knows it's the truth. They're the one causing all the trouble down there. And they don't want to obey the law, and the stuff is still on the place. And I say it'll probably be there till the 30 days is up. And I'll come back, and I'm going to beg this court every time I come back for help, and that's all I want. And I think it's got a duty to take care of the citizens of this county. And our road is not safe to travel along the way it is. And this county, you know, it's just like the state police. You park a car over here on 23, they'll write a note on it. They put a red tag on it, and if it ain't moved in a certain length of time, they come tow that car away or truck, whatever, on the state highway. And I think the county's got about the same law, but I don't know. But
Hey, John?
I took up my 10 minutes. I want to take my seat, but I'll be back next fiscal court.
Hey, John, how long is these roads that we're talking about? I know we've been trying to get them. How long, how much distance is these roads, these streets we're talking to?
Not over, I don't know, I got a map down there in the truck, but I walk it every day, and some of them said around my circle, it takes 3 laps to make a mile, but we got Clover Street, it's 200 feet long, and then we got Tracy Street, the end of that, I don't know. It's not over a mile.
Don't sound like it's very much.
It ain't. I got a map down there in the truck. I gave Mr. Hayes one. Jackie Darrell's got one. But it ain't much. I mean, you know, pull a drainage on it and get us a 20-foot road. There's some places we got 9. Or go around the curve, they ain't got that. There's some places they might be 15, 18 feet. And some places they ain't. I'm like Mr. Hayes was speaking there. I thank him for sending that letter out. I do, deeply down in my heart. I do thank you. But, like he said, the road might be 5 foot one way, 5 foot in another way. It might be 2 foot. That's the reason I asked to have some engineer come down there and survey it out, mark it where it goes. And if it goes in mine, it takes more, I'll be glad to take it. But if we don't get it all fixed right, he don't need it coming down there.
Sound to me like all we need is
you know,
a work order wrote up on it and some equipment in there. I say, sounds like what we need is a work order wrote up on that project, send the road crew in there and take care of it and get out of there.
Well, that's what to me. I mean, I've been almost a year and a half coming here.
spend a lot of money on engineering and things when, if the ditch is already there, pull them and get it over with.
Well, like I said,
That's what I did, Hillman. I put the ditches where they had 4-inch drains in there covered over with dirt, and I put 4-inch drains out back sometime last year and drug a ditch through there. It ain't complex. We take care of our roads and our ditches, and we're not in the landscaping business, though. But I drug a ditch, and in some of those places, I found sewer of about 4 houses running in the ditches out through there. I don't know how the septic worked because it was way up the drain up near the creek there. Black water come out everywhere. But that's been corrected now, but they had some other problems besides that.
Hillman, there's really two issues, as I understand it. There's the drainage issue, and then there's obstructions which have been placed on the right-of-way. And the engineering aspect is make sure that those are on the right-of-way and not on private property. We've got no right to go on somebody's private property and take down a fence, for example. I am told that the road commissioner feels like that fence is on the right-of-way, but I want to make sure it is on the right-of-way. If that property owner doesn't take action within 30 days pursuant to the statute that I just read, then we have the right to do it and even bill the property owner for the cost of doing so. There's an issue of 3 posts on a curb. I believe they're on the right-of-way, but I want to know that they're on the right-of-way before we do anything. There's an issue of a flower bed, raised flower bed that we think is on the right-of-way. I want to know exactly how much of that is on the right-of-way. There's an issue about a property owner using timbers of some sort to make a parking place for a camper. Is that right, Jackie?
That's right.
That the road commissioner thinks is on the right-of-way. Well, if it is, we'll have the right to take action, and will if the property owner doesn't. The property owner may file suit. So be it. We all know where the courthouse is. That's anybody's right. But that's what we're talking about with regard to engineering. We just have to know for certain. As I say, and John just acknowledged it, when they paved that road in there, if they were 2 feet off of the center of the 30-foot, then you can't just put down a point that you think is the center of that road and go 15 feet each way. If it were 2 feet toward that and you went 15 feet, well, you've got 13 feet to that side, and you'd have 17 feet to the other side. That's what we're talking about, and we really need to know.
I just know it. We're spending half an hour to an hour at each court meeting and talking about this same issue. They're about to build a mountain parkway down there for what time we're trying to pull a ditch line.
I stuck enough time, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Whatever you'll forecast.
The ditch line's pulled, Hillman.
Darrell Sloan.
Thank you, Judge. I want to thank this court for giving me the opportunity to speak. My name is, John's a little short. My name is Darrell Sloan. I live at Kemper. I live at on the 2 mile marker on the east 632 going to Phelps. You know, I was here at the meeting June the 2nd, and Mr. Hillman brought up, and which I appreciate, he brought up to John Doug about what was coming to this title search. And Mr. Hayes said he done that work. And then he said he had a problem there. Said Mr. Mullins said there was a wooden building adjacent to that block building. You said that, did you?
That's exactly what he told me. He said, well, part of it's wood, and I sent out, I believe Paul Williams went over to, I said, tell me what the story is on that, take some pictures, and then he reported back to me that it's all block, I believe. Is that right, Bob?
Yeah, the all outside perimeter is block, and the roof is just caved in, you know, it's rotted out and caved in. At least 50 foot of it. One block on the gable end of it, it looks like it's right against the property line on the people going towards Phelps right there.
Right. So that being the case, I have done what I can do. I did the title work as I told the court I would do, got it done, no problem about the title, no problem about who owns this property. And I even went one step further. Normally in this program, Darrell, I don't write the letters to the property owner.
right.
I think years ago I may have drafted one and they used it as a model. So in order to move this along, based on what Paul reported to me, that the roof is falling in, that's one of the things that the Solid Waste Department, which administers this program, looks at. If it's got a roof falling in and or a floor falling in, nobody lives there. Now, if somebody lives there, we still can't do anything, but nobody lives there, I'm told. It's got a bunch of, from the pictures, looks like a bunch of junk stored in there, but at least in the part that still has a roof. Is that right, Paul?
Yeah, they got some things stored over on the left-hand side where I took pictures and stuff. It's still kind of in the dry, but the right-hand side going towards Phelps, it's just all caved in, yeah.
So hopefully, Darrell, I went down and redrafted a letter, and I'm going to read it to you. I don't know that you've seen it. You probably haven't. Certified mail, return receipt requested, June the 17th, 2016. It's addressed to the two property owners. They're two brothers. I'm not going to name them or their addresses. It's regarding property inherited from Denver Williams near the mouth of Gabriel. To whom it may concern, on June 19, 2007, the Pike County Fiscal Court passed ordinance number 06.19.07.012, known as the Public Nuisance Ordinance. Records in the office of the Pike County Clerk indicate that the above referenced individuals are owners of certain property located at the above referenced address. You are hereby informed that the property has been identified as a nuisance under the ordinance. Please consider this as your official notice requiring that you proceed with abatement, which means cleanup, of this property within 30 days of the date of this notification. If you fail to so abate, Pike County shall proceed to do so pursuant to the aforementioned ordinance. You are advised that if a county does proceed to abate the nuisance, you shall be responsible for all costs incurred for the nuisance abatement, and Pike County shall have a lien upon the property as set forth in Section 3 of the Public Nuisance Ordinance to recover cleanup costs. I am enclosing a copy of the ordinance for your convenience. If you have any questions, please call the undersigned, and it's got the phone number. Sincerely, Bobby Mullins, Pike County Solid Waste Commissioner. So it's gone at this point, Darrell, where it can go. Constitutionally, they have to get that 30 days notice. They should have gotten that. I don't know if we've gotten any return receipt back on it. I just haven't checked.
Okay.
So that's where it lays. And then it's going to be up to the Solid Waste Commissioner either to find money to do that, because there will be some initial costs, even though we can cut costs, Magistrate Dodson, by using some of your road equipment, trucks and so forth, at least in my opinion. And then if the Solid Waste Commissioner says, well, I've got no money in the budget, which I understood him to say before. Money seems to be a big problem, but I've got no money in the budget. Then he's going to have to come to this court and say, all right, here's where we stand. Court, can you find me the money to get this done? So, thank you.
Well, the only problem with the Solid Waste Commissioner, he's not going to do it. He's already, just like he said this wooden building's there, it's not there. Why would a man say that, him know it's not there? And I've dealt with him going on 2 years now, and he just plain out just lying. But he's more concerned about the welfare of the Williams boys than he is my welfare, because he said there that they was storing stuff in there. Paul will tell you, every window in that place is busted out, isn't it, Paul? Yeah.
Where I took pictures and stuff, it had a double door there. It was all busted out, you know. But like I say, the left side, half the building was covered would be all right, but the other half, I'd say you're looking 50 foot with all the block and would have to come down.
Yeah, but under this ordinance, it's still dilapidated building, the whole thing.
Yeah, half of it is, yeah.
No, if it's got the windows knocked out of it, in this ordinance, it says it's a dilapidated
I didn't really pay a
building.
whole lot of attention to the left side, I know the double doors right there the other way, and the windows and stuff that way is busted out.
And I can tell you, them boys are a whole lot smarter than people give them credit. They're not going to store stuff in a building that's got the windows and everything else knocked out of it. But I appreciate what you done. But where's Mr. Mullins at anyway?
He's on vacation. I asked that question before the
Oh,
meeting.
did you? Will he be here next court meeting?
Don't know, should be, but
Well, I'll address that issue to him, because I'd rather he answer your question instead of you all.
Right.
I just want to make it, y'all understand.
He
Mr.
is-
Mullins holds a grudge against me. He's taking this too personal. But like I say, I'll be back next court. And I
Darryl,
appreciate what you done too.
thank you. Darryl, he has made, by virtue of sending this letter, he has made a determination that you are correct. It qualifies as a dilapidated building within the meaning of the ordinance. So that's why this letter went out. Had he made a contrary determination, this letter wouldn't have gone out. Okay?
All I got from him is, for 2 years, is excuses. But like I said, I'll talk to him next time. And I appreciate the court, what you done. Okay, thanks for letting me talk.
Nope, that's it. All right. For approval, discussion, adoption of a resolution for approval of the execution of the Kentucky Transportation County Road Aid Coop Programs contract. We need a motion to adopt the county road program. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Magistrate Anderson had an obligation, he had to leave.
I'm sorry. Magistrate Murphy? Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dotson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Is this thing any different from the one we had before, or is this same thing? Okay. Yes.
Judge Deskin?
Yes. And next is approval of a lease with Stone Heritage for the theater building. Lisa and John Doe?
Judge, what this is, I think the court and most people are aware of where the old Red Robin buildings were up at Stone. Those are now owned by the Stone Heritage Incorporated. Mr. Bill Ball, who lives over there fairly close, is very active in that. I've been in discussions with Bill Ball and with Stephanie Richards, who's here today, and you can come up and say a word if you want to about what your plans are. But in the middle building, I believe it is, they call it the amusement or entertainment building in that Red Robin complex. There is on the second floor a very, very nice theater that's in existence. Now it's got to have a lot of cleaning, a lot of painting, a lot of work to get it up and running for the purposes that Stone Heritage want and Stephanie's group wants to utilize. I have prepared a lease, and I ran off and left it at home doing my work at home, but I'll have that ready for your signature if the court approves you to execute that. That lease is for $1 a year, and Mr. Ball said he didn't care if we had it 100 years. What I anticipate doing, though, is a 10-year lease with a 10-year option at $1 each year. It's going to be made clear that we're not going to be undertaking any obligations to do anything to that structure. And again, Stephanie and I and Lisa, I guess you were in on the meeting. We've discussed that. She understands that. They'll utilize the jail inmates to do some of the cleaning over there, maybe some of the painting. There's some old seats that were taken in there for when they tore down the Weddington Theater here in Pikeville on 2nd Street. Everybody tells me they're junk and just needs to be hauled to the landfill. The purpose of this is for an entertainment or performing arts venue. That would be things like a play that Stephanie's group would produce over there. That would be things like gospel music events, bluegrass music, and what we would do once we get that lease in the county's name, we will make an agreement with Stephanie, and she's going to undertake all the cleanup and the work with volunteers. She's great at that, if y'all know her. And I would hope that the court would entertain a motion, a second majority vote for you to execute that contract. No obligation for Pike County other than $1 a year, and as short as money is, I think the court can certainly afford that. It would be a great thing for the people in the locality, the people of Pike County and surrounding areas, and it'd be a great thing to promote tourism and visitors coming into Pike County. If you've never been in that theater, it's really impressive. Got a sloped floor. And I think with the right kind of love and care, which I know Stephanie's group would give it, it could really be a great thing at no cost to Pike County. Stephanie, you want to just address that briefly? Notice I said briefly, didn't you?
I did. Thank you, sir. And you covered just about everything that I had written down. I'm with the Pike County Extension Fine Arts Program with our Extension Service. And in history of just giving you an accountability of what we have done so far, we have the ACT Theater in Elkhorn City that's doing great. We have the Hatfield-McCoy Arts Council in McCarr doing Blood Song, the story of the Hatfields and McCoys, which is now the official play for the state of Kentucky, thanks to Senator Jones and Representative Harris. So we're very thankful for that. I want to thank Magistrates Varney and Magistrate Dotson for all the support and faith that you had while we're getting the North County Arts Program set. And if we can have access and permission to work on Stone Heritage, we're ready to go and see what we can do with that structure.
All right, I need a motion for approval for a lease with Stone Heritage.
I'll make that motion, but before I make it, Judge, I would like to comment on it. Stephanie, and I got to know her when I participated in the play, Blood Song, over there for a while, and I just love her to death and the work that she does. She's real passionate about her work, and she's passionate about East Kentucky. And, I think it's just a great opportunity for us to do this, to maybe showcase some of the stuff and the heritage that we do have over in the Stone area. So, yes, I'll make a motion that we enter in this agreement.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson. I'm sorry, is he still gone? Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dotson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Jessica.
Yes.
Bobby, did you say participate in a play?
Yeah.
I mean, I got a comment on that. Was it a singing part?
No. No, there's no singing.
Well, I was hoping he'd give a sample.
Stephanie, is the Hatfield-McCoy program going to go on this summer?
Yes, sir. We are ready to go with our fourth season.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I know we had a little problem with the sound system, according to Buddy there. He talked to Lisa on it, and I think we might need somebody to, have you had it? Okay, thank you.
Good.
I can tell you it's been a life-changing event for the volunteers at McCarr. It's made a very big difference just in the volunteers' quality of life already in the fourth season.
Well, we appreciate you, and last time when you talked, I guess you were talking about the building at the mouth of Peter Fork over the Habitat for Humanity.
That fell through, yes, sir.
It fall through.
And we think we can streamline the plan so that we can work with Stone Heritage and the Hatfield and McCoy Arts Council volunteers and Blood Song volunteers can use both. And the Pike County Extension Service has offered to have a van that can help the actors get back and forth from McCarr to Stone Heritage.
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I also want to say that I've never seen a magistrate work as hard for his people as I watched Magistrate Varney and Magistrate Dotson work for their people over the last 3 years. That needs to be said. Thank you.
Thank you. You make a motion, Bobby. Second. Roll call, please.
We did it.
All right, you got it.
Oh, already done it? All right. All right, next, approval of a lease with the Corps of Engineers for the baseball field and playground area at Fish Trap Dam. Jimmy?
Judge, I feel like I'm hogging the mic today, but Jimmy Kaiser, probably about last Friday, brought to my attention a conversation that he had had with a lady with the property division, whatever it's called, real estate, the Corps of Engineers. What is going on up at Fish Trap is, I'll give you a little history lesson. Back in the very last days of the last administration of Governor Patton, the legislature passed a bill declaring a state park, or starting a state park in the Fish Trap watershed, the lake watershed. Eventually, the state got a lease from the Corps of Engineers, and I'll try to describe the lease area as best I can without the legal description, which I wouldn't want to read anyway. That lease includes an area below the dam itself, right at the base of the dam. There's a baseball field, Kenneth, and that's in your district. I believe that the Millard Little League utilizes that facility. There's some playground equipment down there. Been so long since I've been down there, I don't know what all was down there. But that's part of the leased area that the state got from the Corps. Now, the state got some considerable acreage above and beyond that. The lease area goes up, and as you cross the dam there at Fish Trap, that mountain on the left side is included in that state park property, and it goes all the way around to the next hollow up and comes down. The state park never came into fruition, but the state had the lease. Pike County, this court ended up leasing that on a sublease from the state, and we've had it right up until today, had it for several years. There's no other improvements on that lease area other than the baseball field and the playground equipment below the dam, other than a small camping area, which this county agreed to sublease to the Millard Volunteer Fire Department, and they operate that campground, and the proceeds are used to help support the Millard Volunteer Fire Department. That's as you go out that road all the way to that campground area. We have nothing on the right-hand side. We don't have anything to do with the dock or any of those restroom facilities that are on the right between the road and the lake. The state has decided that they don't want to lease that property anymore. Now we get our title through the state. The Corps, I talked to a lady, when was that, Jimmy? Yesterday? We talked to the representative that initially brought this up. The Corps is willing to lease to Pike County government that whole area or any part thereof. If we don't enter into that, we just won't have it anymore. I don't know what arrangements then. It would go back to the Corps. They own it. Nobody would have a lease on it. By the way, that area down there where the ball field is, Magistrate Robinson, I believe that this court does the maintenance on that area, cuts the grass and the weeds and all that, keeps it, and they do a good job, by the way, from my observation. The good thing about the Corps is they don't even charge $1 a year. If the county wants it, the lady said the county could get it. I don't know if we need it all, but it wouldn't hurt to have it in our pocket in case financial times get better and we can do something. I think the initial intent was, back in the other administration, is to put hiking trails in that area, possibly primitive campgrounds for use by Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, youth organizations, things of that nature. But it's just never been utilized except below the dam and in the camping area. So that's the story on it, and what I need to know is if so I can notify the Corps and they'll prepare the lease. I won't be doing that. If the county wants to keep it all, if it wants just to keep part of it, or what the pleasure of this court is. That's what I need to find out.
Are you making that motion?
All right. Well, I need a motion for approval with the lease with the Corps of Engineers.
Kenneth did that, Judge, and Magistrate Dodson seconded it. We need a roll call.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Second reading of the Pike County 2016-2017 budget discussion of the Pike County 2016-17 budget. We don't have the budget back from Frankfurt. When it arrives, we will schedule a special meeting for a second reading. Thank you. All right. Awarding of bids. Frankie?
Judge, I've got our June material bids and our 3 floodwork bids that we do every year to present to the court. Our June material bids, we have 8 bids. The first bid is for bituminous hot mix or blacktop, bid number 20. We've received 1 bid from Mountain Enterprises of Lexington. Is recommended to award the bid to the above listed vendor. Attached to the back are price sheets, and you'll see that blacktop actually went down about $3.50 to $4.50 a ton. Bid number 21 is for hardware items and small tools. Received 11 bids: Bartlett Hardware of Pikeville, Elkhorn City True Value of Elkhorn, J.D. Westcott and Son of South Williamson, Justice Supply Company of Pikeville, Lowe's of Pikeville, MGC of Pikeville, Riverside Supply of Regina, Thompson's Hardware of Zebulon, Tom's Tire Service and Hardware of Phelps, Tri-County Hardware of Kemper, and Right Way Rental and Supply of Pikeville. It is recommended to award the bid to the above listed vendors. Bid number 2 is for lubricants. Received 4 bids: Apollo Oil of Winchester, Childers Oil Company of Whitesburg, Jones Petroleum Services of Pikeville, and Wayne Supply Company of Pikeville. It's recommended to award that bid to all the above listed vendors. Bid number 23 is for off-road diesel. Received 1 bid from Jones Oil Company of Pikeville. Recommended to award that bid to the above listed vendor. Bid number 24 is for office supplies. Received 3 bids. CNR Office, which is Ashland Office Supply of Pikeville, East Kentucky Chemical and Supply of Pikeville, and Office Depot of Somerset, and is recommended to award the bid to all the above listed vendors. Bid number 25 is for uniforms. Received 4 bids: Aramark Uniform Services of Pikeville, Bluegrass Uniforms of Bowling Green, Siegel Uniforms of Evansville, Indiana, and Wrights Designs of Jenkins. It's recommended to award the bid to all the above listed vendors. Bid number 26 is for concrete. Received 1 bid from the Wells Group LLC of West Liberty, and it is recommended to award that bid to the above listed vendor. Bid number 27 is for operation and maintenance of 4 wastewater treatment plants. Received 1 bid from Wastewater Service and Supply of Barney, and it's recommended that we award the bid to the above listed vendor. We also have 3 June floodwork bids that we bid every year. The first bid is bid number 28 for gabion wire baskets in place. Received 7 bids. This is per cubic yard pricing. First bid is Jigsaw Enterprises of Pikeville, $250. Layla Enterprises of Williamson, West Virginia, $123. Pikeville Paving and Construction of Raccoon, $149. Prater Construction of Pikeville, $200. Prime Development of Pikeville, $195. Steve Francis Trucking of Belfry, $122. And York Smith Construction of Pikeville, $149.50. As recommended to award the bid to the lowest bidder, Steve Francis Trucking, having the lowest evaluated bid price of $122 per cubic yard. And also, any vendors that had bid that can match the lowest bidder's price be an approved backup bidder. Bid number 29 is for drill steel retainer in place. Received 4 bids, and this is per linear foot of steel. King Creek Drilling of Zoe, Kentucky, $29. Layla Enterprises of Williamson, West Virginia, $27.50. Natco Incorporated of Stanville, $29. And York Smith Construction of Pikeville, $32. It It is recommended to award the bid to the lowest bidder, which was Layla Enterprise, having the lowest evaluated bid price of $27.50 per linear foot. And also any bidders that can match the lowest bidder's price be an approved backup bidder. The last bid is for dumped and grouted riprap in place. We bid both as a combined bid. Received 8 bids, and this is a per cubic yard price in place.
We don't need no other.
Jigsaw Enterprise of Pikeville for dumped riprap, $175. For grouted riprap, $300. Layla Enterprise of Williamson, West Virginia, $54 for dumped and no bid on the grout. Mullins Enterprise of Pikeville, $59 for dumped riprap, $150 for grouted. Pikeville Paving of Raccoon, $50 for dumped, $150 for grouted. Prime Development of Pikeville, $185 for dumped, $195 for grouted. Prater Construction of Pikeville, $40 for dumped, $200 for grouted. Steve Francis Trucking of Belfry, $39 for dumped, $55 for grouted. And York Smith Construction of Pikeville, $55 for dumped and $65 for grouted. It is recommended to award the bid for dumped riprap to the lowest bidder, which was Steve Francis Trucking, with the lowest evaluated bid price of $39 per cubic yard. And is also recommended to award the bid for grouted riprap to the lowest bidder, which was Steve Francis Trucking, with the lowest evaluated bid price of $55 per cubic yard. And also, if any of the bidders who can match the lowest bidder's price be an approved backup bidder.
Frankie, I've got a question on your drill steel. Lead was able to come in a little low on it, $27.50. This Layla, is that a company that you've dealt with before? Is that a new company or?
The company name is a new company. We had actually never done business with Layla Enterprise themselves before, but the people that make up Layla Enterprise, they had, I think the road commissioner had checked them out yesterday, and they're actually the people that bought the drill steel rig from Ellswick Construction, and they were doing business under Blue Ridge Enterprise over in District 6. And so like in the 2010 flood, we had actually used them to drill steel. So we have done business with them under the name of Blue Ridge Enterprise. It's the same people and the same rig, just a different company name.
I know in the past we've had good service from, what was it, King Creek. I know when we call them, they're here and they get the job done and get out. And we just want to make sure that we're able to have a reputable company that can come in and take over.
He will be, if he agrees to that price, he will be an approved backup bidder. And if the lowest bidder, if they don't perform or, can't handle that contract, then we can always, we've put a clause in the contract with any of these vendors that the court would do cause can revoke that contract. So if they don't perform the contract or do insufficient work or whatever, the court can terminate his contract and then we can rebid it, or we can use the backup bidders.
They just got the one drill.
As far as I know. They also, if they just have the one drill, and then like if for an example, we have a flood that's more than what they can handle, then that's why we do these approved backup bidders, is to, so we can do multiple sites throughout the county, as long as they're doing it for the same price as the lowest bidder does. And that's why we also do those for gabions and grout as well. Because we've had floods in the past that one vendor can't do all the work within the time period that we've got to do that work in.
I know sometimes King Creek would bring in 2 or 3 drills, wouldn't he?
He's actually got 4 drills.
And do a job and
I think at
all
one
over
time
the
he
county.
had 3 of them working in Pike County to do this flood work from last year. Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question, Judge.
Well, yes.
Frankie, Mountain Enterprises was awarded a bid on what, bituminous asphalt?
Yes.
And there were no other bidders, so there's no backup bidder, right?
Right.
I just, and the road commissioner actually brought this to my attention. There appears to be some confusion about what you do in a situation where you've got one bidder and that bidder is not interested in the work, can't get to the work or whatever. I thought that you would go, if you could find another contractor and who would do that work for the same price that Mountain Enterprise did, even though they're not an approved backup bidder. That's the way you would go. Now, if you couldn't find a contractor to do it for that, and it were over 20,000, that would have to be rebid, would it not?
No, no, not technically, because in the contract for bituminous hot mix, we put a clause in there that says if Mountain Enterprise declines a job for any reason, such as it's too small, or they're one problem we had one year was they were building like 460, and they had all their equipment over there, and they just didn't have time to work us into their schedules. That's why we put that clause in there, because we had roads that we were trying to get paved, and it was almost the end of blacktop season, and they said, well, we don't have time for you. You know, we're on this project, and that's why we put a clause in the blacktop contract that says that if they decline to do the work, as long as we get a contractor to do it for the same price as their in-place cost, you know, there's no other vendors for blacktop, because this is a material bid to go pick it up. But like their in-place cost to blacktop, as long as they're doing it for the same cost as what Mountain Enterprise would have charged to blacktop that road, then we can get that contractor.
But if they don't agree to do it for the same in-place cost,
No, if they don't agree, then no. Yes, we would, and
if it were over 20,000,
Yes.
that'd be bid, would it
Yes.
not?
If
Unless it was an emergency.
right, then the court would declare an emergency, so on and so forth. But we would have to do it for the same price that Mountain Enterprise per ton would have put it down for.
And what I'm getting at, once that bid is in place, Mountain Enterprises, the road commissioner can't go out to XYZ paving company and say, I'm going to give you this work, unless Mountain Enterprises declines to do so for whatever reason. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And they do it at the same cost as Mountain Enterprise.
And they'll do it at the same cost.
Yes, yes.
And what I hope would happen is, even if it weren't $20,000 required to be bid, that there would be 2 or 3 proposals made to get the cheapest price.
Right.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you, Frankie.
Yes.
Frankie, I got a couple questions on some of these bids. When someone bids something and well, let's just look up there at the carbon wired baskets that we are, Gabion wired basket, I'm sorry. The highest bid was $250 on the per cubic yard, and the lowest was $122. Why are we having such a dispersion? I mean, you know, were they looking at the same bid package?
They do, and like I said, they would have to agree to do it for the lowest bidder's price. And a lot of these contractors don't agree to do it for the $122 per cubic yard. We try to get backup bidders, you know, just in case we need them, but we can't tie their hands and say, well, you do it for this price.
Yeah.
But if they say, okay, you know, like for somebody that bid $250 a cubic yard, probably can't do it for $122 in his mind. He won't agree to that price. But if somebody, you know, like the guy that was $1 a cubic yard higher than him,
yeah,
he'll probably come down to $122 to be a backup bidder. But I'll call all these people on this list and say, this is the lowest bidder's price. Can you do it for this and be a backup bidder in case we need you? And if they say no, then they don't get a contract as a backup bidder.
I just looking at some of those bids, when one is real high and one's real low, are we looking at the same thing?
They do. And like I said, some of these, probably about half of these contractors won't agree to that lowest bidder's price.
Right, where we at, we need a motion or what, Judge, on this?
Yeah, we need a motion and a second.
All right,
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Barney,
yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. All right. Magistrate's road work. I need a motion to accept magistrate's road work.
Motion?
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Barney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Magistrate's comment, Jeff. No, he's not here. Leo's next.
Yes, Judge. Last meeting, Jacket Earl, Road Commissioner, brought up a couple of pieces of equipment that the state's got down at Frankfurt that District 3 could actually use and save money, and I just want him to comment on it, and if we have to make a motion, to do it out of District 3's road budget, we'll do it.
Yeah, I made the motion on, I didn't make a motion, but I talked about the drain cleaners, and it's real difficult to find these things. Hillman's got one, District 6 shares one together, and it saves us a lot of money in the long run cleaning these drains out, so I brought that attention, but I wasn't aware that I need to get the court to approve the check. I thought we could do it with the PO number, but we couldn't do that, so I need a motion made that the drain is cleaner is $3,000, and there's a $3,500 trailer that hauls at it. Leo likes the looks of it, and so did the road foreman. Went down and looked at it, and Jeff Justice. So I need a approval for a check for $6,500 to pay for the state surplus equipment crew. I done got them tied up. I thought I'd get it last Thursday when I found out I had to approve it. We didn't approve it in the court meeting, and so he's holding it up for us. So as soon as we get that check down there to him, we can bring that equipment back. So I need the court to somebody to make a motion.
And this is coming out of your road fund, right?
Yeah.
I'm with
Need a
you.
motion.
I believe you need to be the one that
I'll make the motion, and
second it.
because it'll save the county money in the long run on cleaning them pipes up.
Now, Leo, we just experienced it in the last 2 weeks. We've been using the one that me and Bob share, and it saves you time and money from taking them drains out and replace them when you can flush them out. And we've had ours probably about 7, 8 years, and we got it for $2,500. So we split the cost, me and Chris Harris did, and they use it one place or the other all the time.
I was thinking it might help Leo, but it's up to him because he found it where he wanted to split it with Kenneth there. And
Kenneth
take
said
the
he'd
lead.
split the cost with me, and me and him could use it then.
Yeah.
Motion and a second.
I need a
Roll
second, we
call,
need a
please.
second. We don't have a second, Judge.
Ken, second.
Yeah, Hillman second.
Okay. Magistrate Murphy,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Barney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Do they have a trailer down there at the state?
Yeah, I've talked to the guy a couple of times, and they got it down there, and it's ready for us. Last year, Leo asked me to try to find one. It's just been difficult to find that piece of machinery. People don't give that up, so it's down there waiting on us to pick it up.
Jack, I think the trailer that he's talking about is the one to haul equipment on, right?
The one run haul equipment off.
I talked to Jeff Justice this morning. He's down there, and he looked at it, and he said it had looked like about 2 years or so wear on it yet, and he was wanting to let the court know that, I think they're wanting about $20,000 for it.
3,000?
20.
20,000.
And he said it was looked like it might have 2 or 3 years wire on it yet.
But haul their heavy
Yeah,
equipment.
and he didn't know whether to recommend buying it. He was going to talk to you, Brian. Did you talk to him?
Not yet. He thinks the life expectancy is 2 years.
Yeah. And what's a new one, 60,000, 65?
65,000, I think.
I discussed that. I misunderstood your question. Go, Judge. Sorry, but I had other stuff on my brain, I guess. But the guy that's getting equipment in, he told me that trailer's coming in, but it sounded like he didn't highly recommend that trailer for us to get it because we're working at another expense down the road if it's not got much life left, and you're going to pay a third the price for that one that you could get a new one for, it don't look like to me a good deal.
I think it is a good deal.
Have you looked at used within Pike County? There's a lot of truckers right now out of business, trucks sitting.
You know, that's an ideal we should look at. I mean, it's just, things
Maybe
been
we could-
bombarded. We could go to some auctions or something like that, or look around at people that's going out of business maybe and run some thoughts that way.
But I don't think 20,000 for a piece of equipment that's got maybe 2 years left is even worth looking at.
The one he's talking about, the new one, would be a aluminum, I think, wasn't it, Jack? The new one he's priced, aluminum type where it wouldn't rust, and I think he said they was gonna give him 4,000 or 5,000 trade-in on the old trailer. I don't know, Kenneth, if they've come and looked at it or not, but he said that the company he was talking to was wanting to allow him about $4,000 or $5,000 trade-in on it.
I think they did, Kenneth, answer your question, and I think the warranty had ran out on the trailer. I think we had it 10, 11 years. I think the warranty had run out on it.
Well, the one we're using now, I went over and examined it myself, and it had cracks on both of where it comes off of the fifth wheel there. The cracks will run, it's dangerous to use.
Yeah.
So I think we should take that small deal there and go ahead 2 or 3 years. Why not make it 4 or 5 years? Who knows?
You know equipment, Judge. And I say you know equipment. You've dealt
Yes,
with
I
it
do.
all your life. Maybe next week when you go to Louisville, you can run by there and look at it.
It's a good idea.
Take a look at it,
It's a
yes.
good idea, Hillman.
All right, is that all right? Okay.
If you authorize,
I think that might be a good idea. I mean, it'd be there and available if needed, and if not, we just don't use it.
Do we have any money that come from the salvage sale to buy that with, John, or how, do you have money, and what are we gonna do? I know we're renting one right now, ain't we, Jack?
I don't think we got nothing right now.
I think
Thought we were renting one.
I was going to get one off, and Prater was going to let us use his and free, but Robbie went up there and looked at it, and he didn't feel comfortable with the wood on it, and so we didn't get it. He was going to get it to us free of.
I know right now we're in terrible shape. I had 3 floods in the last 2 weeks, and we had equipment on one side of the hill, and we can't get it to the job. So, you know, it makes it hard when you got a piece of equipment sitting over here, and you got to tram it all the way to Phelps, and you got chances of burning your planetaries and up.
Yeah, that's real
tramming them.
difficult.
You can't tram them that far without damaging them.
Well, I think
That's the reason I was trying to get that equipment moved. We had a flood over there, and we've had 2 in Hillman's area here just recently, really, and I was trying to get the equipment flow open fork over to Phelps there, and give Kevin Prater some credit there. He offered to let us use his trailer for free, but Robbie was a little bit scared of the wood structure on it or something.
Well, I'll go down and look at that used one, and we bought some last fall, and I went down there and I told them we didn't have much money, and I got $5,000 off on one truck. I might be able to talk them under.
But we might want to go to see these other auctions where a lot of people has complications in life. I hate to have them, but sometimes they got some real nice trailers to sell at a good price at an auction. That's something which we're behind the 8 ball quite a bit here.
Well, if it's
First of all, we
for a
gotta
while.
find out where the money is and if we have it.
Well, Hillman, if it's all right with the court, I'll go down there and look at the trailer.
John, have we found any money?
authorize a check if we have money. I'm going to get you all to do the payroll as of June 30th, so it's going to be pretty close as to what we have. It's a balance at the end of next week.
I think, too, Judge, before we authorize a check and any expenditures, assuming we do have money, that if this is going to be $20,000 or more, this court would have to declare an emergency to exist in order to purchase that used trailer. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. Okay.
Tell the judge we
But- Right, right. I didn't realize state surplus was exempted from the bidding requirement.
But we're gonna,
Okay. Okay,
See, they offer it, John, to counties and cities prior to the auction.
okay. I stand corrected. Yeah, anybody else?
And it would be an emergency, I would say, if we need to, wouldn't it?
I wanted to say another opinion from an attorney, but I wouldn't.
Bill's gonna do it about 15 years.
Yeah, he'll get a better price.
We'll take a look at it.
Did I get a
All
motion
right.
to issue a check? Need a motion to issue a check if the
Kenneth,
funds are
where is-
available and we want it.
Hillman, you have any comments?
I'll make a motion that, if John can find the money and you can deal with him and it is a worthwhile trailer, that we go ahead and purchase it, because all the other people uses it and they have to have it to move the equipment back and forth.
I know that.
And,
What they've got over there, I wouldn't put it on the road anymore to haul anything.
that's my motion.
Do I have a second? Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Jessica?
Yes. All right. Hillman, you have any comments?
I think you got Leo first.
Leo?
We go to Lexington, or Louisville next week, go out there and check it out.
Right, we will.
See if it's eat up with rust before you buy it.
I plan on going next week,
That's all I have.
and I'll look it over. I'm pretty good eyes on it. Okay?
Judge, I've just got a few things. We have a four-wheeler meeting Thursday at 6:30 here in the courtroom. We didn't get to meet last month, so hopefully we'll get back on track, and I guess Lisa has got some things to present to the court, the club. And then we've got a meeting next Tuesday at 1 o'clock with the Fish and Wildlife people over some grants to do some river ramps for the tug fork. They called you and me and Bobby, and they're wanting to meet with us and show us some ramps that they've been able to build. And Lisa's gonna go with us. She's been in contact with the guy. You want to comment on that, Lisa?
Yes, we have a meeting when we go to Louisville on that Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We'll be meeting them at the North Buckley Paddle Access and talking to the Fish and Wildlife. They access paddlecraft. And if we are approved, we will get an access to put in to the tug fork and an access to go out. So that would help us with our plan of the in and out of the tug fork there, which we have open. And we'll be meeting them on the 28th at 1 o'clock, and that is Paul Wilkes that we'll be meeting with.
And as soon as the dozer's repaired, you plan on starting the first one?
Right, actually, the Woodman area, we've had it posted for a long time now, and we've had no comments except positive comments. So we'll be looking to go ahead and open up that to be able to work on. As long as we don't spend money on that, we can actually spend in kind, so we will be doing that.
What's wrong with the dough?
A little old, yeah. But that's what I have on that. And Jackie, I appreciate you and the road crew for the flash flooding we've been having, and the court for staying on top of it. We have some pretty bad flooding due to some pond breaking out over at Bones Branch. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. There's a big pond on top of the hill that broke, and we were fortunate, and they don't know who built this other pond below there, according to the state people. I called them last week and called the federal too, but most fell under state deal. But this other smaller pond caught about 70% of the debris, but still there's a lot of debris come down the roads, and it was blocked out, and we couldn't get our grader, and everything was over here at Open Fork. So we come up with the idea of putting the snow blade on the truck, and went up there and pushed the debris off the road, and that was worked out pretty good. I was afraid it might break them jacks, but it worked out to where it cleared the road where the public could get out. And I got the coal company there over today. I was over this morning talking to them, and some of those bad drains up there, I've got them to get in there and changing some of them out themselves because they can do it through their insurance. Well, we really can't do it because it's their private drains going to their houses, and they take care of that. And some gravel situations where the water washed gravels off people's driveways, and I got the coal company going to take care of that too.
I was up in there this morning. It looks pretty good. And Bent Branch, it's been taken care of, and Bar Branch, and we had some flooding over in Harkin, a stopover.
Yep.
So
I got him to call you. Did that guy supposed to call you? Is over State Department on Harkin Creek.
Yeah, I talked to him. But
because you know the Pacific's better than I did.
Had a little bit of flooding there around the fire station. Have they been able to take care of that yet?
Don't think so. We not got that yet. We need to get up there because we've been tied up in Bones Branch where the public's, need to get out maybe for emergency or get food or whatever. And the fire department will get to that next because that's important, but people traveling over a road for sure needs to be taken care of first. We get that just shortly.
But I thank you, Jack, and our road crew. I can't say enough for them. And I think that with the moves we made last week, that the people are going to be sacrificing the contact they had with the magistrate's office when we lost the secretaries as of, I think, the 24th. That's going to be experiencing that. And they're going to be some changes made. We're not going to be able to be as active as we have been with our road crew. We're losing a man off each road crew. So, that makes it tough when you go from one end of the county to the other. And I just want the people to know to bear with us. We had to cut back on our crews, and it's going to be slower. And we might have to step up and try to do a little work ourselves, to keep it going until we can get our men and our people back. But Doug, I want to thank you for all the work you've done on our trail systems, with your crew, and John, I think, is getting ready to do the second phase of adopting the trail into the system as soon as he gets all the mapping finished from over in the Pawpaw area over to Phelps. So that'll make us, how many miles, Lisa? Probably 35, 40? But we don't want to let the trails go. I mean, we missed a meeting last month, and I think it's important that we keep going. And, right now is the time when we need to get the trail system up and going to try to generate money for each community and our county. But I believe we'll come back. I think the county will come back. We've seen these bad spells, and I think coal's going to come back a little bit, but not like it was. And I believe we've done what we could to get the budget balanced, John. Hopefully that we can start putting back some money in reserve, for the future. Thank you.
Bobby?
Yes, Judge, I just want to, we finally got our mower going over in my district, and I want to thank the people in District 6 for being a little patient. We had a couple of them that wasn't, but that's all right. That's to be expected too. But my guys are doing a great job and taking care of the things with the little bit of money that we do have. So, no, I can't thank my road crew enough, and picking up the litter and stuff. I'm still going to hound on that. We're out there doing that, getting that litter picked up. We had the Hatfield-McCoy Marathon over my area here a week or so ago, and I think it was right at 1,000 people participated in that. I forget how many states, it was 27 different states, people that came and ran. So, you know, and a lot of the comments that I heard was how pretty everything was, you know. And then they ran into an area where there was a lot of litter on the place. Somebody had dumped some garbage, and we had worked hard to try to clean some of it up, but you know, and that's, if our people would just think about, if that's the image that we want people to take back home with them that come and visit us, that we got garbage in the ditch line, they wouldn't throw that garbage in the ditch line. You know, we just got to keep on to people to do that. And it's my understanding that we got somebody in our presence that today's their birthday.
Really,
And
Bob.
you thought you was going to get by.
Apologize, man. I apologize to you. I shouldn't have called you out, should I?
Now, you want to know if I could sing? You want me to sing happy birthday to you?
Yeah, I'd
I'm
listen
not
to
Marilyn
it.
Monroe, John F. Kennedy, so what?
I'd listen to it if you'd sing it. Thank you, brother.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother.
All right. That's all, Judge. Thank you.
All right.
Judge, if you don't care, I got a couple comments. One to Hillman and Lisa. Last week, a representative from Yamaha reached out to me and asked me if the county would sit down with Yamaha to maybe Yamaha coming in being a official sponsor to our trails. And I said, absolutely. I think we'd sit down with them in a heartbeat to team up with a name such as Yamaha on our trails. And they went in details about things that they've done for Brimstone. I'm not that familiar with it, but I think it's a good opportunity maybe to sit down with them and listen to them. And if Pike County could team up with a huge corporation as Yamaha and move forward with these trails, I think that'd be huge for the county. And the second thing, I think I hate to bring it up, but I have to, and John, you probably need to weigh in too. Kelly Harden on our insurance will be here tomorrow. And under law, you know, the county's going to a single employee-only insurance. By law, on any open enrollment, you can change the policy ever how you see fit to change it. But if you don't do it on open enrollment, you have to give the employee a 60-day written notice of change of insurance. So the situation we're in is he's going to be here tomorrow, and if we do it June 30th, that's not giving our employees, family, spouses, children enough time to get out to the exchange and other possibilities that they may have to cover insurance. So we may want to maybe go 2 months into the next fiscal year and carry the family plan health insurance so you don't leave them dangling. But I think that would be a major cost on the county if you went that direction. But we need to know probably by when, John, tomorrow when Kelly comes, what direction we're going to go in. If we're going to cut it off on June 30th, which, you know, it's up to the court, we can do whatever direction y'all want to go in.
And there's also the point that Kelly brought up, if we were going to offer spouses to be bought up. And I said, well, all the magistrates had addressed me about wanting to pay up to keep their spouses and the judge for his wife. And he said, the only thing about that is if we do that, the other employees who have less cost per hourly rate, that may knock their spouses from being able to pick it up on the exchange or get some other funding to help them pay for their insurance.
Through the Obamacare, you have to offer to employees, and an employee can only pay 9.5% of their annual salary towards their health insurance. We're paying 100%. By the Obama laws, we have to offer to spouse. I mean, we have to offer to spouse. What John's just talking about is by Obamacare, you do not have to offer spouse insurance. If we offer spouse insurance, what that does is that blocks their spouses from going out to the exchange and getting free health insurance. So if you offer spouse insurance, and they do not take it, they will be subject to penalties at the end of the year because they cannot go to the exchange and get it. So, I mean, that's a very good point, John. I mean,
Okay,
that's another
will
big
Kelly be
city.
able to go in depth with that with the employees? Okay.
But, you know,
Decision of this court as to whether or not, are we going to offer it to spouses or are we not going to
If
offer it
it's
to
going to
spouses?
penalize them, I don't want to offer it. I mean, that's me.
well, there'll be some that may take their spouse, which I think will be very limited.
Well, see, that's what we can't pick and choose.
You can't
have
pick and
to
choose,
do-
yeah. Well, if you offer it to them, Leo, what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, it's, if you offer it to them, they still have to pay for it. But if you offer it to them, and I'm gonna say 90%, maybe 95% of our employees, they're not gonna take it. It will not let them go out to an outside source and get health insurance. You know, if we don't offer it, the exchange has to look at them and they have to offer them some form of insurance.
That's right. In other words, Leo, the question I got, if we don't offer it to them, can they can get it for a discount rate or maybe even free through the Obamacare? That's what I want to do.
Once you offer it, Leo, once you make a decision to offer spousal insurance, it's in the code, and it doesn't matter. They will not be able to get any kind of health insurance unless they take out the county health insurance. You see what I'm saying? They're limited to this insurance only. They will not be able to go out to the exchange or any others.
You have to do it all for one or all for nothing. That's why we were wanting to do the 60 days to try and give us more of a transition period. And I wonder if Kelly, could we have another court meeting maybe on Thursday after Kelly's been here, talk to people, let the court decide then, Thursday or Friday, if he could stay over till Thursday morning. I don't know what his schedule is. Oh, I don't know what Kelly's schedule. I don't think he could probably stay till Friday, but maybe if everybody could be here tomorrow and get more consensus, then maybe have a meeting on Friday without Kelly having to be here to try and, decide, which is the best route for, I guess, the majority of the people and what we need to do. That was just a point that he brought up to me. Are we going to offer spouse and? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't see how you can look at the employees and say 3
And that
days.
any extra money we get in at this point goes to cover taking care of doing the 60 days.
Yeah, $250,000.
Anything extra to start with, that'll cover that to get us going.
Oh, okay.
So is it the census of the court to go to the 60 days?
Have we got any idea what the cost is going to be for a spouse or anything yet? Has he got?
Yes. If we go, they got Anthem come back with another plan that's a $1,500 deductible, but it's a $6,500 maximum out of pocket on a single, whereas our $15,300 is only $5,000, $10,000. It's $6,500, $13,000. So anybody that goes in the hospital is going to get hit with that. But the $1,500 deductible, $5,000, I think it is, whatever. The employee is $591.86. If they buy their spouse, each pay period is $325.53 for a total for the month of $651.05.
Okay. $650 a month.
Correct.
Okay.
To add children is $473.49 per month. Per pay period is $236.75.
That'd be $1,050.
And whereas Leo and them have that buy-up plan of the $1,000 deductible, that one goes to $904.29 to add a spouse, which is $452.15 extra a month. Every pay period, sorry.
Yeah.
And to add a family, I don't really need to throw this one out here, but since I've read them all else,
I wouldn't even throw it
to
out
add
there, John.
a employee's family, spouse, children is $1,302.15 for a month, or $651.08 a pay period, twice a month.
You see, that was my point, Leo, with them numbers. There ain't very many people gonna take out the spousal insurance.
Yeah.
That's the one they made.
I know.
And, okay, if we try to keep the family insurance like it is for 2 months, what's that cost gonna be? $248,000. I'm just guessing.
I didn't have that calculated, just a minute. I don't want a camera.
Yeah, they're going to. They really will.
No.
Yeah. Have a lower.
$126,000 for about 210 employees at $600 a month. Is what that one is, and right now, we're paying $235. It's according to how many we got on the plan, but, you know, with the people we've laid off and let go, that's gonna help. I'm not sure what the deduction, but it's gonna cost about another $100,000 per month, so that'd be about $200,000 to keep it for 2 more months. $200,000 to $250,000 extra per month. I mean, per the 2 months. $125 per month.
Now, let me get this straight. If we
It
don't
would
cut them off
cost us, we would have to hopefully have about $250,000 extra for 2 months worth. It'd be $100,000 to $125,000 per month extra. But we should be able to pull that down maybe under $100,000 where we've had the layoffs and the people that would come off insurance as of June 30th would help that number to be under $100,000 per month extra for the 60 days. Because I don't like rushing, and, you know, at this point in time, it's so late, because, you know, I need to look for something for my kids and my husband, because he has, you know, routine medicines he has to take. He's laid off, drawing unemployment, so there's no way I'm going to pick him up. So we've got to try and figure out some avenues for everybody. That's the best scenario for the majority.
It probably wouldn't be the most popular choice, but I don't see how you can just look at all the employees a week from now and say your family health insurance is gone.
But here again, we're coming up to the 11th hour to try to do things, and I'm going to make a motion that this coming year, this coming fiscal year, every quarter we have a meeting. One of our meetings, an hour of it's going to be designated discussing the budget and talking about how much revenue we got coming in and how much we've already spent, and if we've got to make any cut. I don't want to wait to the midnight hour to tell somebody they ain't got no insurance. I talked to you guys back in February. I said, let's start having some budget meetings. Let's talk about this stuff. Because it ain't going to change. It is what it is. We got to deal with it.
I talked last year too about it when they were buying new trucks, dump trucks, garbage trucks. I know it was coming.
You did.
The judge said, you're all right this year. He's not here to worry about this year.
You know, really in the scheme of things, no, for what solid waste needed, $250 a year probably isn't much, but that would have helped save probably, you know, several jobs.
Might have saved all the jobs.
Not all of them, but some.
Well, you know, they got welders and they got mechanics.
And you all have, you know, each time that one of those, each time that the coal and mineral severance came in, I was telling you all, guys, this isn't looking good. You know, I know, granted, we may have a budget and there are numbers that show money in a line item, but if I don't have money in the bank, that goes out the window. I'll never forget one of the people that we used to work with who retired from the county. She had a daughter, and she wanted something. And the mother said, honey, I don't have the money. I can't get that for you. Yeah, you do. You've got checks.
Yeah, just write a check.
Just because I've got checks and there's, numbers sitting there that says you've got this money you can spend, well, if I don't have cash to cover it, that don't mean a hill of beans.
I was at
And that's what we're getting into. The auditors are still here doing the sheriff's audit. They finished up with their 15 years, so we've got all 3 caught up. This will be the only year we still need to be audited for when this closes in the fall. I said, I'm hoping I have goose eggs come June 30th, because that's about where we're at this point. This expenditure list is $2,262,000. I did find one mistake that'll reduce it a little bit. We got both of the April and May jail monies in. I was worried that we weren't going to get those because the state has been known to hold up that money until next year when they get money in a line item. We got 1.193 from the sale of the trucks. We owe 1.263, so we lost about 70,000, which you can't complain concerning that was 7 dump trucks and 2 transfer for 9 vehicles. Whenever Frankie gave me the amounts that they sold for, you have to take off what they get for a commission. So I had to wait to get my numbers, and I haven't completely configured that because we just got the check yesterday. We have the issue of still needing to do, and I keep wrestling with it, and I might as well bite the bullet. We've got to pay that 27th payday in this fiscal year because there's no way the employees will wait till July 5th to get a check. And plus, I don't know we'll have money. I might as well start out 0 and know I'm going to have to borrow money July 1 as to do it then and hold them up on a payday. So this only happens once every 10, 11, 12 years. The last time Judge was in, it happened then. The time before that was during Donna Dameron, because it freaked me out when it happened the last time with him, and I had to go back and look. The way that the paydays start, there ends up being 27 in a fiscal year. We paid 27 in a calendar year last year on your W-2s. So you're going to see, if you look at your W-2s, 14 was less than 15, and then 16 is going to be even less than 15 because there'll be 26 pay periods back in line. So that's an extra $400,000 that I have to have sitting in the bank, hopefully June 30th, because I can't write a check and put it in the bank on Wednesday to pay checks that are due on Friday, July 1st. So I might as well bite the bullet. We're going to do it June 30th and get your all's approval here and under my business. Like I said, I just hope to come out with my head floating above water at this point in time.
John, I went over to the SOAR meeting last couple of weeks ago, and I talked to 3 or 4 of the judge executives surrounding counties. I mean, it's just not Pike County, people.
I know.
It's around us. It's
Ours
everywhere
is
you
just
look.
bigger numbers.
It's bigger number, but it's the same percentage in cuts.
Judge, I believe that Magistrate Varney has made a motion. That motion's on the floor. I didn't hear a second. I would suggest, Magistrate Varney, that if you want to do this each quarter, which I understood, budget discussion, that we take the last regular meeting of each quarter and add that to our agenda for approval discussion, the last regular meeting of each quarter. That'll just be a regular agenda item in each quarter. Is that agreeable?
I'll amend my motion to that effect then.
All right. Need a second.
And you need a roll call, don't we? Yes. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dotson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskin?
Yes. Well, next is treasurer's business.
Are you finished,
Where's the money?
Bobby?
I'm finished. I reckon.
Authorize the transfers and interfund transfers necessary to pay the bills, payroll, health, life, dental, and FEBCO.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Barney,
Yes.
Judge Jessica.
Yes.
Approve the expenditure approval list dated June 20th, 2016, plus any other telephone, electric, utility lease bills that may be needed to be paid before we pay the bills, which will hopefully be by the end of this week. And there is a change. It will be reducing this list on the 911 fees to the Kentucky State Police. It's not the $62,000 as the invoice requires. It's only going to be, I think, about $7,000 total, because the wireless board, I just write a check out of the wireless board to pay their percentage of the 73% of the wireless calls, and the rest goes to the 911 local. So that number will reduce, but then we've got a bunch of other things that we need to get approved to pay it.
Need a motion.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Jessica?
Yes.
Acknowledge receipt of the sheriff and the clerk's May 2016 2550 reports.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Jessica?
Yes.
Authorize that we do the 27th payroll on June 30th to pay the employees instead of July 1, pending there's money in the bank and ability to do it, making it 27 payrolls for the 15-16 year, and authorize the necessary transfers and interfunds to take care of it.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Jessica?
Yes.
Authorize registration and lodging for Lisa Daniels Estep to attend the 31st Annual Kentucky Institute for Economic Development course, August 22nd through the 25th, 2016 in Lexington at the Hilton Suites, Lexington Green. The course price is $645 by July 22nd.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Jessica?
Yes.
These two are pass-through monies received from Cole Severance on the Stone Heritage. We need to pay these bills, or do we need to pass the money to them and let them pay them?
They
Okay.
pay.
We need to pass through these amounts for them to pay these bills. One is the amount of $3,150.25, and the other is for $3,650 to High Standards HVAC and Supply for, looks like, work on their canopy. Installing a new canopy over existing porch, removing it and disposing and all that.
Motion.
Need a second. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Jessica?
Yes.
We had the road department forward to cut into a gas line, and last month's bill, we need to pay the difference under property damage in the road department. Last month's bill was $72.71. Since we could get the repairs done, the bill ended up being $1,420.07. So the $1,420.07 less $72.71 to be paid to People's Gas for Amos Bartley.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Now, what was that again? What happened?
Did your weed mower cut it, or what cut it? Weed mower cut it.
They got it laying right in the weeds, they ain't got it curved. And it's made twice through that paper.
Well, if according to that, I'm gonna vote not to pay for it, then if they had it laying in the weeds, it's their problem.
What's your opinion, Assistant County Attorney?
I know it can, oh, sorry. Just about to become the
I'd
attorney. It's
have
been
to
that
look
long,
into
believe me.
that. I don't know what the law on, is on a line that's laying on top of the ground. It doesn't appear to be a very reasonable act on the part of the gas company. If I can do a little research on that, Magistrate Robinson, but we didn't cut it, and what we may look into it, if the gas company was negligent, after I do my research, then we could seek reimbursement of this payment from the gas company. That way, the individual doesn't suffer. It wasn't his fault.
I vote yes on that. Yeah, like
Judge
what he said.
Deskins.
You need to get me the details on the other time, if you can, when that happened and how much it cost. Did the county pay before?
Yep, we've got it on record.
You got your record. Get those to me, and I'll look into it, okay? Depends on how long ago it
And
was.
the other thing is to pay animal care equipment and services. The animal shelter had donation money to buy True Catch carriers, leather bite stick holster in the amount of $1,365.60 to be added to our expenditure approval list.
So this is pass-through money?
Yeah, they received donation monies to help purchase those.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion on that then.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy? Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dotson? Magistrate
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
So we're going to pass on the people's,
It was my understanding to pay it, and then John Doug's going to research.
Okay.
And then go back towards
You need a
people
motion on that,
for
Rose?
reimbursement to the county.
Yeah.
We might get reimbursed for it.
John Doug, if you don't
We
care,
need to make-
explain on the peoples how that process is going to work.
The innocent party in this case appears to be this court and Amos Bartley, okay? Unless somebody on our road crew was just out and out negligent and saw that line and didn't bother to check and find out what it was. But I need to look into it. I need to get this prior incident, do a little legal research. If I think there's grounds to come back and seek reimbursement from the gas company, I will raise that at the next meeting, and you all can authorize me to pursue legal action against the gas company for failure to bury their lines.
John, could I make a motion to hold up on paying it until the next meeting, till you come up with your facts and then pay it then?
I think that would be agreeable. Did we pass
be
that
all right,
other
Kenny?
motion to pay it?
no, we didn't do a motion. That's why I'm trying to figure out if I'm supposed to pay it or not.
Who made the motion to pay it?
Kenneth?
Kenneth,
Yeah,
would
second.
you have any objection to withdrawing your motion, and let's hold this over to the next meeting to give me a little chance to look into it, and then we can take care of it if we need to at that time.
Kenneth, what are they charging us for extra gas they lost?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Kenneth, has your road crew got that document exactly what happened when they done that, or?
Oh, we didn't know it done it till that woman called up.
Oh, yeah.
She said, come and fix it.
What I don't understand,
If you got weeds growing up your cutting, how could you see a line under the weeds? They should
what
have
I
a
don't
bird.
understand though, how did that go through his meter?
Got it, not smell it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Is there a road that crosses there and we were cutting weeds or what? Well, look, let's just pass it to the next meeting and I'll check into it, okay?
All right, we need to rescind our last, or that,
We never voted on the last motion. There was a motion and a second. Magistrate Robinson has now withdrawn his motion, and I guess the court
I don't
can
know.
now take up Hillman's motion to pass this matter until the next meeting, give us a chance to check into it. Is that your motion,
Is
Hillman?
that clear as mud, Rose?
It's fine. It's fine. But we do need a roll call on this motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy? Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
Kelly will be here tomorrow. Probably
we-
get started around 8:30 in the morning.
Have we started scheduling our people to come in? Have we already done that?
Have you, Dexter?
Appear to me that they have to bury that line.
Nope. We'll be getting in contact with them this afternoon.
They can smell.
Everybody will know by tomorrow, won't they?
Judge,
Have I forgotten anything? I
probably.
don't think I have anything else.
You brain dead too?
Yeah.
Judge, I know it's a little premature for my report, and I don't really have a report, but the issue was raised, we couldn't have the second reading of the budget today that was on the agenda because we don't have our budget back from the state approved as to form and classification. We're getting up against the deadline, and the problem, and Magistrate Murphy raised it with me out in the hallway before we came back from our last executive session. You've got the judges' conference next week. The last day of the month is on Thursday of next week. And that conference will run through, what, Friday? Thursday morning?
Yes.
I just want to bring that to your attention and the court's attention that we need to be thinking before we leave here today about scheduling a meeting, special session, to take the issue of the budget up.
Gotta do it the 30th.
Hopefully, we'll have our budget back. And anyway, I just wanted to raise that and bring it to your attention, and y'all need to make some resolution on that, in my opinion.
Thursday evening will be fine. Just go ahead and plan on it then.
You'll just have to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't we meet before we go down there?
Next Monday is the 4th.
No, next Sunday. That's the following Monday. Today's the 21st.
Just depends. Let's play it by ear.
Oh, this
right now,
Monday. You're
either
talking about
Monday
the
or Thursday
27th.
at this point.
Make the
When are you, when's everybody leaving for that meeting?
Monday.
Yonda, could we meet on the 27th on a Monday?
If we have it back.
If you got it back?
If we got back, that's fine. Before you go. Yeah,
Comes back, it'll be Monday or Thursday.
Monday or Thursday.
Uh-huh.
We'll let you know by Friday.
You have to let, yeah.
Let you know.
We have to give notice to the press. We have to notify. Right?
That's what, 24 hour?
Wow.
Really, I didn't know.
We'll make that decision Friday morning then. Yes, okay. We'll be in there on Thursday. We have to come back. We can't come back.
July the 5th.
You'll have to leave.
We're gonna have a special meeting,
What
Leo.
time is
Maybe we
our,
can get everything in a special meeting
What
and
time's
just,
our ATV trail meeting? Thursday.
6:30.
6:30? That's here, isn't it?
Okay.
5.
We have an executive session.
My only question would be, John Doug, can I bind the court from one fiscal year to the next with short-term borrowing
Man.
in a court order?
I don't think so.
That's what I'm thinking, that we'd have to have it, so I could get started with the process of doing a short-term loan.
Right.
Oh, you're talking about the next Tuesday meeting? So we need to have that the day after 4th of July because.
It's been a long day. Why don't we take that issue up in the next meeting, put it on the agenda for the next meeting? We can resolve that in the next meeting. We don't have to sit here and resolve every problem in the world today.
You probably already know.
So as of right now, I don't notify the paper for any meeting.
right.
Okay. I have no further business, I don't think.
Judge, as bad as I hate to say it, I have to go in executive session for a short period.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. We have to go into executive session for a few minutes, Brian says, so give us a
I promise it won't be long.
KRS.
KRS 61.810, paragraph F, discussion of Pacific personnel. I make that a motion.
Need a second. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy?
We won't be
Mr.
in there
Robinson?
10 minutes.
Dodson? Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskin?
Yes. Court will resume. Brian?
Yeah, just one thing, Judge. We need to announce the resignation of James A. Ramey as a lot equipment operator for lot number 4, effective June 2nd, 2016. That's all.
All right. These are my recommendations and my motion.
Need
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskin?
Yes. Oh, commissioners and directors' comments. Do we have anything? Okay.
One thing that John does closely cleared up on the hard top is we do work in-house, that's the getter. Otherwise, Mountain Enterprise gets it, and they need to tell who they're turning the job down. What formula is actually out there, or Mountain Enterprise says they're going to do this job if they choose not to. But she tells me,
I don't understand why that's not going through the road commissioner to begin with.
well, it's not been.
Well, it needs to be, in my opinion,
But
humble as it may be.
the girl tells me, or it's over that, she says they need all the work they can get. That's why I was talking to her a while back.
John, usually the road foreman sets up the work. It's approved by the court. And, you know, if he has a job that he needs done, he usually calls Mountain Enterprise and tell them. And then if they can't do it, they'll tell the foreman that they're not able to do it right then, and he goes ahead and makes other arrangements. But we do most of it in-house ourselves.
Yeah.
Famous last words, you know it,
Judge, I have unfortunately one other matter that I neglected to mention. Did you have a comment, Lisa?
That's all right, you can go
No,
ahead.
I don't want to jump in front of
Yours
you.
last.
Go ahead, I'll do mine after you're finished.
Okay, just a couple of things. We do have, as far as economic development, a couple of stores that is going to be located in the county. They should be opening soon. We're also in negotiations with another company to bringing in jobs in this area, which we'll be talking to the fiscal court later and then making that announcement. As far as the trails, I do apologize that at the last meeting, I had CDBG environmental training and was unable to host that meeting. And I think everybody else sort of had something else too on the agenda, so we did miss that. We do have the meeting this Thursday at 6:30 here. We will look into the company and seeing what we can do. Apologize that I know people think that the trails should be moving faster than they are, but you got to understand there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of people that's involved in this, and the county wants to do it right. We want to be able to have a trail that is functional, that is able, that when we come in here, that we're very proud of people having it there, and there's security problems and a lot of other moving parts that we have to look at. The Tug Fork River access, we're working on that, meeting with Fish and Wildlife, so they actually can pay for 2 of those ramps, we're hoping. That's coming up next week. Mouthcard Community Center, we're looking to put in new furniture into that place because we have money, it's already sitting there, so we'll be working on that. We did receive the recycling grant for a paper shredder and a couple other things that we'll be using that. We also received the crumb rubber landscaping mulch, which I'll be working with Paul and his group, and hopefully the detention center on getting that out around all the buildings that the county owns, and that includes housing, senior citizens, community centers, industrial parks, whatever we have, and putting that. The last thing that I have is the CDBG grant that we're writing for Elkhorn City Housing. That would be for the high school turning into the 27 housing units. Last night, we had the public hearing. 23 people showed up, very positive, so that will be moving forward. The grant will be ready to be submitted in July. It's due there by August 1st, so I'll keep you up to date on that. And that's all I have, Judge.
Lisa, one thing I'd like for you to add on your list. We were promised that we were gonna get some furniture for that, hog trial cabin.
Yes,
That's been about 6 months ago, and they
Actually, I
told
to-
us that, and I've not heard or seen anything on that.
Tony had mentioned that. I do know, and that was another thing, Tony's not here, but yesterday we also worked on a tourism commercial video. Went really well. Actually, the Hatfield McCoy Theater actually put on a skit for the commercial. They went all the way through the Pikeville area up to the different sites. So we'll be having a commercial to be able to market tourism. I will check with Tony to see where that's at. I think the last thing I heard was he wanted some kind of security on that building before he put that in.
That's what yeah,
Is that
he talked to
correct?
me about that.
And I'm not for sure where it's at, but I'll put it on my list to follow up on to make sure we get it over there.
Been a long time.
I'll put that on my list. And maybe Tony can show up at the
You know, we
next
just
meeting.
went through the weekend, they had a Hatfield McCoy thing over in Matewan.
You know, we should have had it
We
filled
should have
in.
had it ready for then. And that building is sitting there, we got electric in it, Paul worked hard getting all that done, and we need to get water and
As soon
get
as we get
somebody in the
water,
building.
as soon as we get water, we can actually go ahead and advertise for somebody to actually use that building and do a private partnership, just like we're doing with the
I don't
Stone
think it'd be
Heritage.
hard to get water, sewer will be the problem.
3,000, 3,500, 20,000.
No, it won't be real bad on the water. And I don't know, city sewer don't run up that far, does it?
This is inspection and if.
No.
We
Can
can
we
put a hole-
get?
we can put a holding tank in
Can we
there.
get some outdoor toilets permitted, dig some holes?
Yeah, we can put a holding tank out there.
I don't think so unless I go
I'll
back
take,
and look.
we'll work on that. So,
Okay, John Doe?
Judge, I met with Tony Tackett of the Pike County Tourism and Convention Bureau on, I believe it was Friday. He came over to your office and addressed a problem with me about a motel, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the motel, but Bobby, it's
Sweet
over
Dreams
south.
Suites.
Sweet Dreams?
Sweet Dreams, nice name for a motel. But anyway, apparently they owe about $20,000 on their hotel and motel taxes. He told me that he'd been trying to get the owner to get this caught up, and was willing to work with the owner. But as of late, the owner is not even taking his calls, and the emails are bouncing back. I thought he was going to meet with me before this meeting, possibly yesterday, bring me all the information. He's not yet done so, but assuming that's not gotten worked out, that's quite a bit of arrearages. It's important money to that group that promotes tourism in Pike County, and I would therefore request that the court authorize me to proceed with appropriate litigation in the event that that is not worked out fairly quickly.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Murphy? Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. All right, thank you.
To bring the court up to date, I went and pulled the payment we made to Amos Bartley was 121 of 2009 for gas line being broke on their bill of 10/28/2008, which was $730.97 is what we paid them then.
What, do we need a motion?
Kenneth, how comes it goes through Amos Bartley? Goes to his house.
They had paid it the last time and we had to
What, they break it
reimburse
with a
them.
weed mower?
It's running from a meter to his house, Hillman's way he described it to me. He's tying on, going to his house. Looked like the man should have to have his gas line buried. It's his private use. And that's really a danger to a lot of things.
Huh. Oh, John Doe's gonna check on that, ain't you?
I just wanted to let the court know when it was, and I'll give this to you, John Doug.
So us postponing paying that won't,
Right, I was just giving you all an update on it.
okay, all right,
Okay.
thank you.
Is there anything else?
Nope, that's it.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Do what?
I said, this is the faithful people that made it through the meeting. Congratulations.
Yeah. Roll call, please.
Master Murphy? Master Robinson? Master Dotson?
Yes.
Master Barney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. Court be adjourned.
No.